Did you know that 70% of wealthy people prefer to keep their money hidden? It's true. While many people imagine the rich flaunting their fortunes with flashy cars and private jets, the reality is quite the opposite. In fact, some of the wealthiest individuals, like Warren Buffett and Mark Zuckerberg, live surprisingly modest lives. This may sound strange, but it's a key part of how they stay wealthy. Why do the rich avoid showing off their wealth? The answer is simple. They know that subtlety, smart investments, and long-term thinking are the real secrets to lasting success. In this video, we're going to uncover why the rich don't feel the need to show off their money and how their strategies keep them ahead of the game. You'll learn why their wealth is often invisible, how they focus on building legacies instead of flaunting status, and the mindset shifts that keep them at the top. Trust me, what you'll discover will change the way you think about wealth and success. Stay tuned for some shocking truths you won't find in the headlines. Chapter 1. The Silent Strategy. Why subtlety beats flash. Wealthy people rarely show off their money, and it's not because they don't have it. Instead, they've learned that subtlety often leads to more respect and long-term success. According to a 2020 study by the National Bureau of Economic Research, people tend to trust those who exhibit humility over those who flaunt wealth. Subtlety in wealth isn't just about appearance, it's a strategic move. Wealthy individuals understand that showing off can attract the wrong attention, such as envy or unwanted opportunities. Many billionaires live in modest homes, despite their massive fortunes. Warren Buffett, for example, still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. This shows that wealth isn't about flaunting luxury but about making smart, sustainable choices. The rich invest in assets that grow in value, not in lavish goods that lose value the minute they are bought. The stealth wealth mindset is rooted in security. It's about ensuring that wealth doesn't attract predators or thieves. A flashy lifestyle might tempt others, but it can also increase risk. The rich prioritize their privacy, something that expensive possessions can compromise. In contrast, by staying low-key, they maintain control over their environment. Studies also show that rich people tend to have fewer but more meaningful relationships. A flashy lifestyle can often push people away, while an understated one allows for deeper, more genuine connections. The people who truly matter in life don't need to be impressed with material wealth. They care about character and integrity. When it comes to building wealth, the rich know that silence is golden. By not showing off, they focus their energy on growing their assets and improving themselves. This is the essence of long-term success. They do the work, stay disciplined, and let the results speak for themselves. Chapter 2. The Mindset Shift. From status symbols to legacy builders. As the rich accumulate wealth, their mindset shifts dramatically. Early on, it's about purchasing status symbols, expensive cars, luxurious homes, and designer clothes. But over time, the focus changes. Instead of living for today's material pleasures, the wealthy think about tomorrow's legacy. A key part of this mindset shift is prioritizing long-term impact over short-term satisfaction. For instance, tech moguls like Bill Gates have shifted from building companies to shaping global change. Gates' focus now is on philanthropy through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which has donated billions to health and education. This shift from stuff to impact is a fundamental part of building lasting wealth. According to financial expert Robert Kiyosaki, true wealth is built when you stop working for money and start working for assets that generate cash flow. Wealthy individuals often reinvest their earnings into businesses or projects that continue to generate wealth and provide for future generations. In his book The Millionaire Next Door, Dr. Thomas Stanley mentions that the richest people in America tend to be those who focus on building wealth through entrepreneurship, real estate, or stocks. These people might not have flashy cars or oversized homes, but they're making smart investments that will pay off for years to come. The idea of legacy building also ties into the concept of influence. For the rich, it's not just about what they own but how they affect the world. This shift leads them to invest time in mentoring others, creating businesses, or leaving a cultural mark. The richest people often see their wealth as a tool to create a lasting, positive effect, not just a means to a comfortable life. Chapter 3. Invisible Wealth. The Power of Investment over Consumption. The rich don't flaunt their wealth because their focus is on investments rather than consumption. Unlike the average consumer, who spends money on goods that lose value, the wealthy invest in assets that appreciate over time. A 2019 study by Bank of America showed that wealthy people, especially those in the top 1%, are more likely to have investment portfolios, real estate holdings, or other long-term financial assets. These assets aren't just for their personal enjoyment, they're for building a secure future. Take the example of Jeff Bezos. Before becoming the richest man in the world, Bezos was laser-focused on his Amazon investment. His wealth didn't come from spending but from strategically reinvesting in his business. Bezos invested heavily in technology, logistics, and infrastructure, creating an empire that continues to grow. Another interesting fact is that the richest 1% in the US own about 40% of the country's wealth. This is not by accident. They understand the value of accumulating income-generating assets, whether it's stocks, real estate, or private equity. In fact, many wealthy individuals are much more conservative in their spending habits than they appear. They prioritize assets that generate consistent, passive income. They understand that wealth is built through smart investments, not by buying the latest luxury car. When the rich do purchase high-end items, they often do so for reasons other than flaunting their wealth. For example, they might buy art, real estate, or collectibles because they appreciate in value over time. These purchases are investments, not simply consumption. If you're learning about these secrets to wealth, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We dive deep into how the rich think and act, and you don't want to miss out on more powerful insights. Chapter 4. The Hidden Formula. Learning to say no to showiness. One key difference between the wealthy and the average person is their ability to say no to showiness. Wealthy individuals have mastered delayed gratification. Instead of immediately buying the latest trend, they focus on building long-term wealth. Studies by psychologist Walter Mischel showed that those who can delay gratification tend to be more successful. The ability to say no is an important skill for building wealth because it keeps people from making impulse purchases that deplete their finances. In fact, most wealthy people don't live in mansions or drive the latest sports car. They know that showing off is often a trap. Buying expensive things to impress others is not a strategy for building wealth, it's a distraction. Rich people tend to avoid conspicuous consumption because they know it doesn't align with their financial goals. Instead, they focus on things that will provide lasting returns, such as education, investments, and business ventures. They invest their time and money in things that compound over time. This ability to say no extends beyond just spending. The wealthy are also careful about how they spend their time. They avoid distractions and focus on what moves the needle toward achieving their financial goals. Chapter 5. Think Rich. The psychology behind non-flashy success. The psychology of the rich is a key reason why they avoid showing off their money. Rich people think differently about wealth than most. They focus on growth, not instant gratification. They understand that success is often built quietly, over time. A study by Dr. Richard Thaler, a Nobel laureate, highlights the difference in mindset between those who are financially successful and those who aren't. Successful individuals tend to take calculated risks and make decisions based on long-term outcomes, not immediate rewards. Think of Mark Zuckerberg. He didn't flaunt his wealth when Facebook took off. Instead, he focused on growing his company, taking strategic risks, and continually improving his product. The wealth came later, and it wasn't the focal point. This mindset also means that the rich are less likely to fall into the trap of keeping up with the Joneses. They know that flashy displays of wealth can cause them to lose focus on what really matters. Wealth is about creating value, not impressing others. The rich have learned to tune out societal pressures to buy the latest things. They understand that success is more about thinking long-term than chasing short-term status. Chapter 6. The Teachings of Quiet Wealth. Mentorship without the show. Finally, Many wealthy people prefer to mentor others quietly, without seeking public attention. Their approach to teaching is grounded in action, not words. They don't need to show off to teach. Those who truly seek wisdom know where to find it. Many billionaires and entrepreneurs are known for providing guidance behind closed doors. Richard Branson, for example, has spent decades building Virgin Group but has also quietly mentored other entrepreneurs. His teaching method involves helping people create businesses, not showcasing his own wealth. What's interesting is that the wealthiest people tend to have an abundance mindset. They believe in giving away knowledge, knowing it doesn't take away from their own success. This approach leads to a cycle of growth and collaboration rather than competition. In The Art of Exceptional Living, Jim Rohn says, "Success is not something you pursue. It's something you attract by the person you become." The wealthy attract success not by flaunting it but by sharing wisdom and building networks. Rich people teach without needing a spotlight. They understand that quiet wealth is a tool to impact lives in a meaningful way. They prioritize personal development and understanding over material displays, and this is why their influence often extends far beyond their financial status. If you enjoyed learning about the hidden habits of the rich, hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the world of wealth. There's so much more to discover, and we want you to be part of it.